Hello, I'm back. So I want to show you what it looks like, and also have a couple corrections. I have put some correction of measurements on the in the comment box from in the tutorial before this one, which is number 5. So check that out. And also I want to show you what I did, the measurements. Remember this one I said that I had a little bit too much, so I just removed a little bit of that. So you just remove a quarter from the flap that is on the, it's a little flap on the flap, okay? And that one also, I had, this one here was longer than what I had here, so I had to move again about a 1/4 inch. That's all I needed to remove. So make sure you check those measurements. Also, one thing I wanted to tell you is that interaction here that I glued on here and made a pocket out of it. If you just want to make just the one flap and a pocket underneath, all you have to do is have a piece that's maybe I would say at least 2 inches, and then have a little bit something here to glue on, and then a little gusset of just 1/16 of an inch, and then you just have, and then you make your pocket, and it just goes on top of it. So you don't have that pocket. So you just have the flap here that's glued on the side here, and you have the pocket, and you have this on top here. That is what I made different from the previous book, okay? And also what I noticed is that because of all the thickness that I added here, the pocket and all that, it's hard to open it. You see, it doesn't want to open. So I might work it out a little bit so that if I remove a little bit of the glue here, I open it, just unglue it underneath here, it might go down better. But it's okay. After a while, it'll go down. You can always force it a little bit. But if you just do the one flap, you're good. You don't have that problem. Or if your whole interaction is a little bit higher than just a 30-second, if you put it like 1/8 of an inch here, higher than the edge here, then you'll be all right. Okay. Now I want to show you how I make the. You see, it would be hard to do that. The pockets. I've done that tutorial many times, but I want to do it here for the new people. So you have to find a piece of paper that is the right length, the right width. Here I have, depending on what you have here, your pockets, okay? But here on my project I have 5 inches and 1/16, okay? And higher than what you have to cover, okay? So what you do is you start with the top one. If you have a pattern that is continuous, it'll be a good thing, because then you can see exactly the technique will be enhanced. The look of the product will be enhanced with that the fact that it is continuing paper. Always put continuing, not something like little pattern. It has to have a little bit bigger pattern. So here what I do is I start about a 1/16 of an inch or a 32nd of an inch from the top, so as long as this closes well, okay? And I will make a mark about 1/16 of an inch lower than the first line of the pocket. You see my pocket is here, this is right here, so just a little line, just a 1/16 of an inch lower than that. And you do that for every single one of them, just like this, and then the last one here, about a 32nd of an inch away from the edge. So now what you do is you're going to cut those lines. So you cut one at a time so you don't get mixed up. So I'm going to do the first one right here. Okay, so this one's going to go here. And the thing is that you're going to have it going just a little bit, like a 32nd of an inch inside. So it's hiding the seam that you have that's wrapped around here. It's going to hide the edge here, and also it's going to continue, the design's going to continue. So what you have to do now is put the glue behind, and make sure you don't put the glue on the edge right here, because this is going to be right there, and you don't want to tuck that, you don't want to glue that down, okay? So I just go like this, and just here, okay, you see, you leave a little bit here so that it doesn't glue down. This one wouldn't matter, but the other one, so that the pockets go all the way down, okay? Like they're going to go all the way down. Whatever you put in the pockets, it's going to go all the way down inside the pockets, okay? So I'm going to do this one first. So I'm going to go inside my little corner, inside that one here, and then I'm going to, you can check your paper before you start cutting it to make sure that it fits inside your pocket. So I'm going to leave just a little tad here, just a 32nd of an inch, so that it can fold. That's all you need, okay? Then you press on it, and here. Then you do the next one. So this one's going to be right here. So this one's going to be going inside again, like this. Sometimes you have to help it in. Sorry. So this goes here. So you can see that the pattern is continuing. Okay, it's continuing, but it's interrupted the 16th of an inch you have here. That's the thing. You don't want to have just the pattern delayed down. You want to have this little piece that you're having a border on your pocket. You want to have that missing from your pattern. That's important. And then you don't put the glue too close here, because you don't want to glue the bottom down. Just the flap, just the pocket, the top of the pocket. So here like this. And then you go on the edge right here. And then you make sure you're aligned with your edges here. Okay. That's the second one. And then you go the third one. And you're going to do the same thing. Go down here. It's going to go down here. And then the last one. I don't have time to do the whole thing because I have the whole other section to do. And this one is going to be glued on here. So you see the pattern is continuing, and whatever space that you have the border of your pocket is missing from the design. That's the part that's underneath your pocket. That's why you have to trace the line just 1/32 of an inch or 1/16 of an inch, whatever you decide, lower than the edge of your pocket. So that's what's going to be underneath. And also it's easy to put your things in after you've done that. Okay? So this is going to be finished later, because I need to show you something else. If you have any questions, just let me know, and I can make a little make it easier for you to understand. Okay, now I want to show you the next section. So the next section is right here, this one here. So we have a nice card. These cards are Claire from My Creative Spirits idea. You can mat the inside here if you want. But anyways, I didn't do that right now on this one. Sorry. So this card here holds the two flaps closed. Once you remove it, then the two flaps open. So we're going to do that. And also you have two pockets inside and waterfall cascade. So if I don't have time, if the video stops, I'll just continue on the next one, and then we'll carry on with the next interaction after that. Okay, so this goes here. So first of all, you need to have the two pockets. So you need to measure. I'm showing you how to measure, but I'm going to give you the measurements I have here, just in case your project is not the same measurements as mine, okay? So you have a piece of paper that is cut in half here, and you have, they joint together, they meet, okay? They touch, or just about. And then you make a line where you have the edge of your, this is the on-page pocket. Then you add a 1/4 inch and a 1/4 inch. You do that on both sides. So this is what I got here. I'll show you here. So I've got this here. I have a 1/4 inch here and a 1/4 inch here. Okay. So you're going to taper the corners here to up to the line where you have the gusset. Same here. Fold those. Make sure it's nice and straight. Same here. My cardstock is really thick. I like it. Makes nice flats that are really solid. Okay, now you're going to glue that down there. So just the one little line here. So you're having one here. I'm not rounding my corners because those flaps have to be straight. Okay, so here I see my, oh, this is this a little bit too much? Yeah, I have to remove some. I didn't give you the measurements. I need to give you the measurements. Let me just do this here, right here. So this measures, in my case, it measures 3 1/4, and you have 3 1/4, and the inside is 2 3/4, but it has to not meet there. Okay, so you can adjust afterwards if it's a little bit too wide. Okay, so here it goes from the edge here of my on-page pocket, which is the whole line I have here. All my lines go there, right there, and then I go up to here, to the edge here. Okay, so I have one here, and then the other one is here too. So this one I have to remove as well. Let me get my pencil. Just 1/8 of an inch, and you have to make sure they're the same height. I'm going to give you the measurement of mine. So this measures like probably same as we've done, 8 1/4. That's what we've done before. So make sure they're the same. So this one I still need to remove a little bit. I was scared to remove too much, and I didn't remove enough. I'd rather readjust than start over again and cutting another piece. Taper here, glue here. Okay, and this one on this side. Here again, I like to see my gusset. Okay, you go right on the edge of the on-page pocket, and then you have to be aligned with the other flap next to it. Make sure it's nice and straight. Okay, so that's done. And also one thing I didn't show you on this page here, I'll show you now. I have made the card that goes in here. So you just do a little bit smaller, not as wide as the pocket, and you put your piece of paper in, and then you measure how much you want out. Okay, and here I have covered this part, like I told you I would cover this part, so it's easy. It's hiding all the little seams and ribbon and trim and all that, and it just goes in there easily. I'm going to decorate that later. Okay, so that's one part I didn't show you. So this I'm going to do the same, like you see all here, this is all going to be hidden with my little piece of paper. So I have these two. Now I have the 2 pockets that are going to go inside. These pockets, here you can do whatever pocket you want. Okay, so here I did just L-shape pocket. I have this wrapped this in here, and this is just regular, it's not folded, and just cutting, and you can punch whatever you want on that. So I'll be doing that on the next video. If you want to see it, I'll do that really quick. Now I have another piece here. This one is 2 inches by 9 inches. Okay, now I have because I need to have the same height as my page, which I have to adjust because I have removed some. So I'm going to, you measure whatever, you might put a little mark with your pencil, and then you just core the lines there. Okay, so you go according to your pockets. I'm going to do the same on this one here. There's the other one here. Because I have mismeasured my thing before. Okay, it's going to go right here. Okay, so you have one line here and one line here. Doesn't matter how much you got. Doesn't matter if it's not the same. It's just going to be glued onto it anyways. Okay, so you fold those. And so what I have in the center, I have 8 1/4. Okay, so what I do now, I will, these are pretty wide, but it's okay. I will taper just the one side right there, and then I will glue on the edge here, and also the line on the side where I have tapered, a fine line. And this is going inside my page, and where you have tapered is on the outside of the page. Okay, right there, right here, right on the edge. And then make sure you have like the same amount. If I have like 1 millimeter, or I mean 1/32 of an inch on one side, I will have the same on the other. Okay, so you do that to both. Do the same on this one. And then after that, we're doing the waterfall cascade. So here you have to cut 5 or 6 pieces, whatever size you want. Here what I've done, I like to go according to my scraps. I have 4 3/8 by 4. Okay, so I'm going to have the wider on this side. So the 4 3/8 is going to be this side. Okay, and so I have 6 here. This is heavyweight cardstock. It doesn't have to be heavyweight cardstock if you don't have it, but this piece that's going to be the little strip right here has to not be heavyweight cardstock, ideally. Okay, so you take a 11 inch or 12 inches, whatever, strip whatever width you want, as long as it's not wider than your card. Okay, so I just did randomly like this, and then you will score 6 lines of 1/2 inch. Okay, 6 lines of 1/2 inch, and then you just fold it. You start with the farthest one, so you're going to be like this, and you make sure that when you fold it, you're flush on the edges, just to make sure it's nice and square. Do that to every single one of them. There I have my 6. Then what you're going to do is you're going to glue the first here. Okay, so first you have to find the center of your piece. Here I have 2 inches. Okay, so it's going to be 1 inch. Oops, on this one here I have to have a little mark on the 1 inch, and then the center of this one, which is going to be like this. This is the center of it. Okay, so what I do now, I put the glue on the one section, one of the 6th, the 6, that's the highest one, and then you put your card, center the 2 lines you have, and then you go just about to the edge. I'm going to show you. I left just a little piece here, just a 32nd of an inch. Okay, and then you check to make sure it is nice and straight or square. So I go with my lines here, and I go with my lines here. It's nice and square. Now what I do is I press it. I fold this one. I'm ready for the next one. So you put the glue here, and you have to be quick when you do that, because you have to make sure that it's aligned straight with the other one, because if it's not, you might have to adjust. So you just go lightly here, and it's nice and flush with the rest here, and then you go and check to see if it's square with the other one. If it is, then you can do that. Okay, here, and this one here, I just noticed that I have like 1/32 of an inch, a little bit too wide. I don't know why, because I have measured everything. So I'm just going to do that right now, because then I can rely on this one for my other measurements. Then you fold the other part. So I'm at the 3rd part. Again, the glue, discard, flush with the other ones. So this one too has got a 32nd of an inch too much. So just almost to the edge, nice and flush here, and don't wait too long and go here, because you might have to adjust like I'm doing right now. If it's all set, if the glue is set, you can't do that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep on going, and then I will adjust all those cards after. So now number 4. Okay, same thing. So now I will use just the top, because this one is, you see these, this one is right. Then I adjust, make sure it's nice and square. I press, and I do this, second last. Do I have 5 or 6? I thought I had 6 of those. I guess I have only 5. I think that 6 would have been too many anyways. So this one here, same thing. Square here, check here, square here, perfect. And I'm going to cut this one here to a little bit too wide. These are all good up there, but this one's too wide. And I don't seem to have a 6. Oh, here it is. I knew I had 6. And I'm going to check if I have enough room. So I'm going to do the 6th one now. So I'm just folding that. My glue here. And my 6th card. Okay. Nice and flush, square. So now I have, if I try it on, see, I put my 2 fingers here, I pull on the little strip, it goes like this. So once everything is matted, it'll be smooth and regular, and it's gonna go tuck, 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 tuck. Then what you have to do is you go up to the last one. So you want to have just the last card here. You turn it around so you have this wide that you can have the strip going transverse like this. But I cut this one, which is good, so I'm good, so I can glue that one. Let me check. Yeah, right underneath this card. Yeah, underneath the card here. So I can look for the center. And I'm just going to put the glue on the last card, on the bottom part, and then I'm going to do this like that. I can leave a 32nd or an 1/8 or 1/16 of an inch, whatever. Okay, and then now you need to have your pattern paper. So you grab your paper, whatever you want to put in the back. So I'm going to do that with this one. And let me check how much time I have on my camera. 22. Okay. So what you need to do now is get the right measurement to cover this whole thing, including the seams here, but not the gussets of the pockets. So it's just covering the on-page pocket. That's what it's covering. Okay. So here to here, and I leave a little like 1/16 of an inch around. Cut this here. I should have done that. I forgot to get that part ahead of time so that it's quicker to make the videos. Okay, so that's my piece of paper. And then I'm going to measure and see where it's going to. So this is going to be here and this here. So I have a little bit too much of this one, so I'm going to cut just like 1/2 inch because you don't want that one to stick out. So you just remove a little bit. Okay, you can round the corners of that one too if you want to. I will do that. Sorry about my arm. I like to have rounded corners because then they don't fold after you use it many times. Okay, so that's what you have. So now what you have to do is you just center, really centered here, leave a little bit here, and all you have to do is fold these two. So I'm going to fold it like this, and this one too. It's going to be easier this way. And you can leave just a little bit. You don't want it to be too tight. Okay. So it looks good. So now I'm going to glue that on the back. Make sure it's nice and straight. Flip it around and then put the glue on those two little pieces. So this little piece has to be like 1 inch wider than your paper. Okay. Check again. See? So after I'm going to mat that, especially this part is going to be more solid, like more stiffer. And then you just go like this. So all you have to do now is mat this. I would say usually just the top of the card. And you mat those two little pieces here. And this one you will find out how deep it goes. Okay. So I would say about 7 inches piece of paper, pattern paper, 7 inches by a little bit less than 2 inches. And then you're just gonna round the corners, glue it on, and then you glue that whole thing on the page right there. So that's the waterfall cascade. And then you need to make the cards that go there, not everything, and then you're going to be done. And then do your two little pockets that you need here, whatever size, whatever shape you want. Okay, so I'll see you for the next video. Don't forget to to check the description box, and just in case I have a measurement I need to correct. Always do that. Okay, thank you. See you later.